Hey guys, I really wanted to recap last night's live Facebook session because it is like my mission in life to make people not be so bacteria phobic in life. Um, Ever since the germ theory got discovered way back when, we have been like so antibacteria. We want to kill everything. I mean, I'm totally guilty of that. When the girls go to the playground, I got the spray out. I'm like spraying everything around, trying to keep them from getting sick. We just have been conditioned to have that mindset. But how has that worked out for us? I mean, we have been trying to kill these things forever, and we still have flu. We still have disease going around. Clearly, it's not working. Um, so my mission is try to teach people how to embrace this bacteria. Even though it can be bad, I feel like God put it on this earth, there's a place for it. So instead of trying to kill it inside of our bodies, why don't we try to change our inner terrain so that it's not favorable for that and they run off and go where they're supposed to be? Um, you know, Bacteria gets inside of us, and if we have conditions that are perfect for it, then it's going to manifest itself in anything from eczema to cancer, to Crohn's disease, anything, diabetes out there. So really, I think that we're going to find in the next few years, science is going to come out saying, diabetes is caused by a lack of this bacteria, and people who have IBS symptoms, they need more of this bacteria in their life. It all comes back to the bacteria, so we need to stop killing it, and we need to start putting more of the good guys inside of us. So I talked a lot about probiotics. Honestly, like quick recap, the companies out there, they can't do what nature does. I know some are getting better and they can guarantee delivery to your small intestine. Doesn't matter how many are in that pill, it matters how many actually make it all the way through to your gut. But that being said, a little bit of beneficial bacteria is better than none. So if you can't stomach fermented foods that I'm going to talk about, then take a probiotic. Just look up companies that don't have number of bacteria at time of manufacturing. You want to see companies that have research that is actually making through your stomach acid, making through the manufacturing process. Bacteria is living, so when you freeze dry it, it's still slowly dying. Bacteria lives for like a couple hours up to 10 days. So as soon as it's born, it really is working on dying. So think about how long those pills have been sitting in the warehouse, then in the store, then in your cabinet. Okay, it's just, that does not scream living to me. But again, it's better than nothing. The gold standard is going to be your fermented foods. You can see in the background, I got my water kefir going. That is like, everybody can drink that. My 4 and 2-year-old love it. So that's my go-to. Sauerkraut, any fermented vegetables you can get your hands on. You can even drink sauerkraut juice. I know it sounds disgusting, but you don't need to guzzle the whole thing. Get a little spoonful and dump it in juice, dump it in soup, dump it in anything. Just make sure you don't heat it up too much or that kills all the bacteria. And we are not killing bacteria. That's a really easy thing to slide into kids as well. Sourdough bread. That's yummy and that's fermented. And a lot of us have issues with gluten, and that fermentation process actually cuts down significantly. There's still some gluten in there, but it's much more digestible. So eating these fermented foods, and milk kefir. That's another. Milk kefir is going to be your highest probiotic count. You just want to make sure you have, if you could get raw, that would be awesome. But pasteurized milk. Do not get ultra pasteurized. Again, that is killing the bacteria, and we don't want to do that. If you could get as many different fermented things in your life, that's going to be your best bet. If you can only stomach water kefir or kombucha, do that. Just a sidebar, I like water kefir better. Kombucha tends to be a little too yeasty, and some people can go overboard and get all sorts of yeasty things going on down there that we don't have time for. So anyways, back to talking about fermented foods. The more you can get, the more variety, the better. not only can that help make your inner terrain not a good host for bad bacteria, but it can also help you absorb more nutrients. That bacteria kind of pre-digest things for you. So a lot of people find out, when they eat cabbage, it hurts their stomach, but when they eat sauerkraut, it doesn't. So, if you're going to eat food for fuel, don't you want to absorb as much of it as you can? So I always just have like a sip of water kefir or a little spoonful of sauerkraut before as many meals as I can. Again, I'm not perfect, but let's start flooding our bodies with bacteria instead of killing it. And, with that being said, antibiotics totally have their place in our life right now. So if you have to take one, don't sweat it. Just move on. Just make sure you really up your probiotics. So if you have any questions about particular probiotics, I've researched a lot. There's so many out there. I don't know all of them. But your best bet is get those fermented foods in your body. If you have more questions about those, reach out to me. But let's start a I Love Bacteria revolution. In fact, wouldn't those be really cool shirts? You can hit me back up if you want to be one of the first to sport an I Love Bacteria shirt. Thanks for listening, guys. Have a great day.